Hari itu 9 bulan 8 tahun 2022 aku ke Ngepun ke sesaisku fokus ngegai arms nggak leg. Setelah itu aku ke ngadu arms itu bisa cerual ngau berkeding ngadu ke exercise. Aku kan agak superset. Keterubah ya, warm up dulu. Keterubahan itu wrist roller, hand horizontal. Itu wrist roller. Kakak dipusin, kakak tahu. Ngau pemberat dari itu. Berat itu berat 1,25 kg, bisa 4 gig, 5 kilo.
You don't have to know
Mulai
everything.
betul, hanya ke
In fact, you don't even need to know most.
selesai, start.
But you do have to know that progress often calls for us to move forward without knowing. It asks if we're willing to learn along the way, to pick up the pieces as we walk by them. And that's a vulnerability that is sometimes
Yang
taught
baru
us,
sedikit berat, itu
right?
mesin
The
berat ya.
nakedness that we never really shake. The idea that in order to grow, we have to leave the now, ill prepared for tomorrow, but knowing that we have everything we need to make the transition. The losses become lessons, the failures become data points, the mistakes become our clarity. And until we understand this, there really isn't an upward trajectory. We place too much value on the known, the things we understand, the cyclical nature of a day-to-day that is, as much as life can be, predictable and determined. Characteristics that are actually antithetical to growth. In fact, one could make an argument that in this incredible day
Itu
and age
poin
of
25 kg
information,
dari lanjut.
our need and ability to know
Itu
often
beratnya
comes at the expense of true transformation. Right, I studied podcasts for so long before I started one that I could have created and improved upon my own, 400 times over. I had to find out who uses what, when to upload, how long the episode should be, and on and on. There are books and videos, there are classes and coaches. All of it wonderful, I'm sure, in its own way. But nothing so powerful as that university of experience, of life. The idea of the thinker and the doer. The thinker that absorbs and contemplates, weighs one option versus another and another. Exhausting time sufficient for the doer to fall on her face twice, pick up the pieces, make necessary changes, and be on her way. See, the information is out there. It exists and can be incredibly valuable, but simultaneously can contribute to us thinking our way into stagnation. A thing can only be
turun 5 kilo.
things that provide the value you decide to extract from
5
it.
kilo.
And I like using the example of water because it's simple. Water is necessary to sustain life. Without it, one cannot go on. Too much of it, however, can sink a ship or flood a building. Too much is disastrous. And you can pretty much fill in the blank with anything else here to demonstrate that point. Life is a balance between not enough and too much, scarcity and excess. My opinion is that now, with regard to information and technology, we exist on the too much side of the spectrum. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I was having a conversation about something I wasn't sure about without interrupting it to pull out my phone and Google the answer. Again, this has its positives. Knowledge is power, but to what extent? And I'm talking big picture here. This is about so much more than picking up a phone to Google information. This is about never feeling like we're equipped enough to step into something new.
Meron turun 5 kilo.
Because we can always be
Tingnan na to.
and where do you draw that line? I now, because of the accessibility of information, find myself frequently staring like a deer in headlights. Because some minor detail hasn't been made clear to me. Because everything is not perfectly ironed out. My brain has become conditioned to know. Because knowing is now incredibly easy. But life is about generating a meaningful existence. Meaning is carved from unknown. It's not Googled or found on Wikipedia. A podcast or YouTube video can't give you meaning. It might help you prepare or point you in the right direction, but meaning is about self-discovery. It's about, taking those things you learn, but giving them life.
Turun 5 kilo.
Pulled out of the world around you like diamonds from the earth. Necessarily calling for going when you don't know exactly what the destination looks like. Starting when you don't know what the end result will be. We are consuming at the expense of living, absorbing at the expense of feeling, right? There's the idea that a business book is not the same thing as creating a business. Being on social media is not the same thing as being social. It's an aspect of those things served up without the risk or the upside. That is not real life. In one of my favorite movies, Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams' character, a therapist, is talking to Matt Damon's character. He plays this brilliant young man who has, a photographic memory. He's read every book in the library. He's a genius. But even with all that, he doesn't quite have the courage to move out of his little world into
Wrist
something
roller udah tembus 3 set, super set. Isi bagian set semua, 5 set masuk kosong. Fokus dengan forearm. Itu aja. Dia tuh ku kak ngaduk ke exercise Triceps.
Michelangelo, you know a lot about life's work, political aspirations, human hope, sexual orientation.
Tricep.
But I bet you can't tell me what it smells like in this 15
Dumbbell.
You've never actually stood there and looked up at that beautiful ceiling, seen that. If I ask you about women, you'd probably give me a syllabus on your personal favorites. Maybe you've been laid a few times, but you can't tell me what it feels like to wake up and feel truly happy.
Berat
You're a tough
2.5 kg, dua pihak, kira 5 kilo. Nak kira ngau dumbbell empu rod untuk plastik.
You've never held your best friend's head in your lap and watched him gasp his last breath, looking to you for help. I look at you, I don't see an intelligent, confident man. I see a cocky, scared kid. And the quote goes on, but the idea is a powerful one. And one of the reasons I rewatched that scene over and over, it's not that he's trying to belittle the character. He's trying to help him explore the depths of his own personality, his needs and desires, trying to arm him with the understanding that he's strong enough to move beyond the walls he's built around himself. That all that knowledge he's attained and acquired is meaningless unless he gives it life. Knowing isn't enough. And I want to qualify this again because it's important you meet me where I am. I'm not making a case for ignorance or, books, knowledge, understanding. That's critical, but it's the other piece that makes life worth living. You don't get the reward without the risk, and the risk requires that one moves into the haze without clear understanding of an outcome. It's moving into life without total certainty. And we are hardwired for that certainty. We're built to want to know. And now, on top of that, we have the tools to take in infinite knowledge. I want this to be a reminder that we have to circumnavigate that idea to some extent. We have to trust ourselves to figure things out as we go. That waiting until we have everything figured out simply leaves the door cracked for regret to sneak in and make itself comfortable. There's an entire world out there waiting for you not to have it all figured out, but to instead stumble upon the realization that you don't have to know. To move forward, you have to simply trust. That's when the world will transform before your eyes.
reps, pas.
If I could do anything on this earth, I wanted to do it. If money were no object, oh, that was fine. If I could ignore the critics and the doubters, what would I do? If you weren't worried about what people said about you, what would you do? What's in your heart? What's in your heart? What's in it? When you're not occupied at work and your mind's on something, what do you think about? You lay in the bed at night and you think about it. How much time do you spend reading? How much time do you just sit around and just think about it? How much time do you spend doing that? How much time do you spend dreaming? Who do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? Dreaming. When you stop dreaming, you just exist. You just go through the motions. We were not created to go through the motions. We were created to dream. Your heart comes alive when it dreams, and it dies when you stop dreaming. Why do people stop? Why do people quit dreaming? Kids are young, they dream, don't they? Ask them, well, what you want to be? I'll be a cowboy. I'll be a fireman. Kids they just want to do this stuff. You know what that's called? It's called dreaming.
You black reps.
And I love to listen to them when they get out of high school. They get these dreams, they're going to have families, they find out about their careers that it's called dreaming. It's when you've got something in your heart you want to do, and you're looking forward to it. It's called dreaming.
Dreams motivate us. They give us energy for life. They inspire us. They excite us. What's your dream? What's your vision? It doesn't have to be changing technology in the world, but it could be for a better marriage. It could be for a healthier lifestyle. It could be for a business you own yourself. It could be the dream to be self-employed. It could be a dream to get a college education, and you can do that after you're 80. You can do that no matter how old you are or where you are. What's the dream? What's the challenge to fight through the difficulties of the day that's driving you?
Let me tell you how he works in your life. He plants dreams and desires in people's hearts. You don't hear him with this ear right here. You hear him right here. Get rid of this, he speaks to your heart. Well, you don't hear words in your heart. Dreams come in your heart. You get to dreaming about this stuff, and then he goes to work to bring them to pass. Your dreams come to pass. That's the sweetest thing in all the world to the heart. Who put this in here? I learned something about your heart here. Your heart lives on dreams. And when your heart stops dreaming, you die. Listen.
14 rep.
The people perish. You lose your vision and you stop dreaming. You start looking forward out there. You're not excited about the future anymore. You die. Now you can still eat bread and chicken and walk around and go to work, but you're just as happy with it. And people are losing their dreams, they're losing their hope. That's why the heart is so sick among people. What the scripture say? Lift up your eyes, lift up your head, start dreaming.
And the problem with most of us who are watching this message right now is that we have become so practical that we have lost the tools that God has given us to be able to create a different situation from what we're currently experiencing because somebody told us that was for kids. Today I'm trying to stir your anointed imagination to see again, to dream again, to hear again, to write again, to be able to do.
There will always be times your life seems to be inconsistent with the dream God showed you. So you have a choice. You can either reduce your heart to current
11
circumstances
rep.
or release
Perlu
your
dia.
heart will eventually
20, tolak 3, 17, 14, 11. Fokus ke tricep begitu.
What God told you or what God put in your heart. Time doesn't matter. See, every dream faces the frustration of delay.
Tricep.
And
Dia
it's
tu
better
aku
to experience the frustration
kat
of
exercise
delay than to be willing
masa
to take action of a detour.
bicep.
So Habakkuk says, though the vision tarry, wait for it. It will surely come to pass. Delay is not denial. Don't
Aduk
just because it's taken a long time.
dumbbell bicep curl.
That believing was my
Standing position.
but the outcome is his. And too many people won't believe unless they know the outcome. That's not fair.
Is anything too hard for the Lord? You tell me what he can do. Here's how you know it's his dream. If you can do it, it ain't his. It's got to be bigger than what you can do. It's got to be big. And listen, if it's going to be big, go ahead and go do it. And so the way our nation is right now, our nation is right as crushing dreams. Who's your God? Quit letting this nation tell you how to live. Quit letting the news tell you how to live. Let the Bible crush your dreams for you. And dreams require persistence. We quit too easy. We give up too
Nah,
much.
dumbbell sama
I hear people say, I'm too old.
5 kg.
No matter who you are, no matter where you are, you can dream. You'll make mistakes and you'll give up. Don't let Satan steal your dreams through your mistakes or through your failures. Friends will steal your dreams. How many well-meaning people might tell me, now that's a little too big right there? Because I'm telling you, Satan will get people's mouths and try to crush your dreams. And you know what you need to do? Just keep right on Satan. Do not let the dream stealer destroy your dreams. You're too old, you're too slow, you're not smart enough, you don't have what it takes. You need to learn stuff. Listen, learn stuff like this. If God be for me, who can be against me? If you're going to dream your way to the top, out of where you are, if you study the lives of great achievers, you'll always discover that dreams were a part of what drove their life. It fueled them. The dream drives how they act, how they think, how they talk, and how they respond. Great achievers always have a dream that drives them. They don't want to stay where they are. They want things to be better. They want things to be different. Now, at the moment, it may just suck, but not in their head. In their head, they're thinking, it will not always be like this. It may be bad for the moment, but it won't be bad forever. I'm going to make the choices. I'm going to take every opportunity to change these circumstances. And over time, you can. Do something every day that can change tomorrow. Just something. Tomorrow's not a day of the week anyway, right? If you want to change tomorrow, it starts with decisions you make today. And you can't wait until tomorrow to change tomorrow. You change tomorrow by changing today. Small decisions made every day lead to a big future. Today's discipline determines tomorrow's success.
If you do what you have to do when you have to do it, one day you'll get to do what you want to do when you want to do it.
Now listen to me. You only live one life. You get one life. Listen to this. Find a plan for your life. Alright? You're not too old. It's not too late. Forgetting those things which are behind. Let's reach forward to the things that are out there. And while you're at it, if you're going to go big.
The truth of the matter is, how are you so emotionally injured, so mentally drained, so physically fatigued that you have allowed your dream, your destiny to take a back seat to this excuse that you don't have what it takes, that you're not smart enough, that you're not tall enough, that you're not wide enough, that you're not deep enough, that you're not connected enough, that you don't know enough people. You keep comparing yourself to that person and this person. When will the excuses stop? When will you see your purpose bigger than your excuse? I don't know your name, but I know you have a dream. I don't know where you're from or where you're listening to me. You may be listening to me in your closet, your bedroom, the gym, the car, the bus, the train, the plane. I don't know where you're going, but I know you are going somewhere. You've got a destination. People that make excuses are not connected to their destination. They don't have an end game. They don't have a goal. You have allowed yourself to become a weak link covered under the blanket of excuses. But I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that has a dream. And if you made your excuses bigger than your dream, the time is now to apply pressure. It may not be easy, but it's not impossible. This is not a I feel like it today. This is not a I'm motivated for a week. This is an every single day mentality. You may have to work 3 times. You may have to lose sleep. You may have to go to college and raise 5 children and still maintain your marriage and work your side hustle. I don't know what your story is, but if you will keep a no excuse mentality, then the sky is not your limit. The sky is your starting point. This is an every single day mentality. I never get turned off. Every single day, I want my destiny. I want my dream. When somebody is in love with who they've been called to become, what they've been called to fulfill, what they've been destined to do, there is no day off. There are no lights. I'm not a light switch. You can't turn me off. I can never get turned off. Every single day, I'm giving everything I have. That's how big my dream is. And so there's no excuse. There's no pain. There's no dilemma. There are no speed bumps. There's no distraction that can turn me off. I'm not a light switch. You can't turn me off. I want this thing every single day. If it's important to you,
Hot sets.
you'll find a way. You won't have to look for a resource. You will become resourceful. It's not always about
20, 17, 14, 11.
It's about the effort. If we can just keep
Bicep.
excuses in
So,
gotta be stronger than your
aku ngumpul exercise
excuses.
dari banyak jenis.
Now we can look at the process.
Forearm, wrist roller dulu,
We get one opportunity to become
Triceps,
we get one
dumbbell kickback,
one life to live.
bicep,
Life is
dumbbell bicep curl. Nyajak laban to keterubah ya. Aku ngai maksa diri. Nyajak tunggu baru bak hari exercise arm ke dudi.